Voice of Students, powered by Onata, local part-time jobs.
Hello, welcome to Voice of Students. I am Jyoti Vazirani.
And I'm Bianca Velasquez.
And we are presenting our brand new show called Voice of Students, a talk show by the students from the universities across USA. Each week, the students voice their opinions about various topics, from politics to social media, education to culture, and many more. If you are a college student and want to be part of this show, please register at www.onata.com/VOS. The invincible social media is changing our lives, relationships, and the way we conduct ourselves in the society. It is in a way defining the very fabric of our social and private relationships. Our generation, the baby boomers, are lucky that we didn't worry so much as the Generation Z are worried now. In a moment, we will talk to the participating students about the impact of social media on their relationships.
Hello and welcome. I'm your host Bianca, and today we're here to talk about relationships in the age of social media. As technology advances, the concept of dating and friendships have become less traditional and has lost its conventional meaning. We will speak to college students today to hear their opinions.
Here we have three guests, Iram, Jacob, and Danny. Guys, welcome to the Voice of Students show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Jody.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Aram. I'm a senior at Rutgers. I'm studying economics. Post-grad, I'm working at Amazon.
Hi, I'm Jacob Bean. I'm an undergraduate at Rutgers. I'm majoring in labor relations management and economics. I hope to get in the entertainment industry real soon. Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a senior at Rutgers, studying civil and environmental engineering. And after I graduate, I hope to do work in environmental engineering.
Okay, thanks for joining us, guys. We couldn't think of better people to bring on the show. So first, to start, based on your relationship status, do you believe that true love and relationships still exist, or do you think that people are constantly trying to portray this fairy tale relationship through the social media lens?
I think it's a little both, Bianca. Today, because I know there's some relationships where they like to broadcast everything on social media and have crazy candid photos, like it was like a photo shoot done, you know?
I actually heard statistics on that people who broadcast their relationship more on social media are actually like less secure in it.
That's what I heard. And the ones that don't broadcast it at all, like, are killing it.
It almost seems like a way of compensating something, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Trying to fill a void.
Exactly. Have you guys had experiences, or other people you know have had experiences within their relationships where it kind of hindered their relationship, or have you seen any of that?
I think on a general basis, I think it hinders a lot of people's perception of their own relationship, because you're consistently just Instagram culture as a whole, you're comparing yourself to every guy or every girl on Instagram, right? I'm not as fit as this person, or I'm not as good looking as this person. But then you start doing that with your relationship, where it's wow, this couple went to whatever the famous food places of that week. Oh, they're eating here. My significant other isn't taking me here. So clearly we're not as happy, or we're not as into our relationship as they are.
Right, as a way of comparing.
It sets standards, new standards.
And that's something that we haven't seen in past generations, and now it seems that since Instagram has become such a big thing, and Snapchat and things like that, it's always seems like a competition between everybody.
Yeah. Especially when you start giving people a platform and giving them followers, everyone starts feeling like they're Jay-Z or Beyonce, so that they, they need to have just as good couple pictures as that, right? But they don't have a photographer consistently following them around.
Sure. And so what is your style of meeting someone? Do you prefer to meet initially and share numbers, or you feel that you can meet on social media?
I actually met my current boyfriend through just mutual friends.
Okay.
I feel like that's a little bit in general, I guess, more of a safer way to meet someone, because at least, you know, you have mutual friends and people know them, and
Sure.
you know, they're a good fit with you, just like your friends. But someone online is a little bit more of a risk, I would say, because you don't really know exactly who they are or what they did last week. It's a little bit more of a risk, I guess.
Risky.
Yeah.
See, me personally, whether I meet them online or through mutual friends, I like to get to know them first, you know, like before I jump into anything. Just like do, you know, stuff that you can just talk one-on-one, you know, like go to a restaurant or, you know, not go to the movies, but, you know, something like where you two can do something together.
Sure.
Because I've had moments where, like, I almost rushed into things a little bit, and then that person wasn't really who they pretended to be. Like, you know, they seem like this calm, chill person, but then, you know, if you rush into something or, like, after a moment of, like, dating or whatever, they get, like, really jealous and insecure and just, like, want to know where you are at all times. And, you know, then they start stalking your feed on social media, and they care about who you like, you know, what
Right.
pictures you like, who you follow, and it gets this big ordeal. So I've learned from those experiences. So now I
So you
just
like to go slow, know
very
the
slow,
person.
very slow.
Do you think that couples that have originated from social media, you know, the whole sliding in the DMs debate, do you think that relationships that start that way, is there sort of a standard of insecurity or distrust because that's the way that they met? So do you think that all of a sudden they're going to meet somebody else the same way because they met you that way? Do you think that there's some sort of standard there
I
set?
think it's a 50-50 shot, honestly, because I've seen relationships where they've met through Tinder and Bumble, DMing each other, and some have worked out great. But then there's others that do that, and then it just works out terribly, you know? So I think it all depends on the person and the situation.
Also what they're looking for. Not everyone on those websites are looking for like a serious relationship.
Yeah, just
or
like a quick
anything.
fling, right?
Yeah.
And I feel...
No, go ahead.
No,
I was saying, like, I think, like, the whole, like, I think there is a stigma around, like, DMing, like, DM culture on Instagram, right? Like, I think a lot of people, like, look down on it, but that is also, like, how a lot of people now meet, right? It's like, you like one of theirs, they like yours back, and that opens up, like, your DM. But it also, I think it almost defeated, like, the whole, like, face-to-face, like, actually, like, there's so many people now who are less inclined to, like, if you see somebody that you actually, like, are into or attracted to, rather than just, like, go up to them, you'll just find out, like, what's their name, so I can follow them on Instagram later and just DM later.
Sure.
Like, you guys, how many, like, of my friends have just done that, like, saw, like, a really pretty girl, and then, like, gotten her name, and then just DM'd her after, like, saying, oh, I saw you out. Okay, but if
Instead
you
of a
saw her,
confrontation.
yeah, like, rather
Yeah.
than, like, go up to her at that
Yeah.
spot, like, let me just do it in the comfort of my bed while I'm on, like, on Instagram.
Right, and that's kind of a way that people form these identities for themselves, and that's why a lot of things get misconstrued once they're actually met in person, because you guys have seen not everybody online is the same in person, and it's kind of like a stigma now.
Yeah, Instagram also, like, shows everyone, like, the best version of yourself, right?
Yes.
So, like, you're never going to actually live up to that, right? Like, no
Right.
matter how cool you look on your Instagram profile, like, you're not like that all the time, right? Like,
Now, how do you think gender plays a role in relationships today? In other words, how do you think same-sex couples are affected by social media? Do you think it's in the same way as, you know, just straight couples are? It's kind of like different stigmas. So, especially within the LGBT community, do you guys feel that it's different with the way social media impacts them?
I don't know if I could, like, speak to, like, the LGBT community. I know for, like just, like, male-female, like, relationships, I know there's, like, a certain, like, Instagram standard and, like, Instagram etiquette, I guess, right? Like, if you're in a relationship, like, I know, like, some, like, girls don't want their, like, boyfriends, like, liking other, like, girls' pictures, right? Like, you can easily look up what pictures they're liking. So, like, that's, I guess, like, a stigma. But I don't know how it would, like, affect in the. I'm sure it applies to, like, different, like same-sex couples as well too.
I feel like for the LGBT community, it's probably a little bit more comfortable to be on social media because if you're on like Tinder or something and or Facebook and you said I'm interested in girls, I'm interested in girls and boys, I'm interested in boys, it's kind of like a way to know that okay, like I don't need to put myself out there and get rejected because they're not into me, or I know they're into me, I could go for it and
Sure.
and everything like that. It's a little bit it's better.
Yeah.
Do you think social media is shifting people's morals?
It has
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Eva.
think it has a big impact. Like off camera, we were just talking about like just like when you see like celebrities like in like cheating scandals like on Instagram. I think it played both ways. It made it I guess like more okay for people to accept like their cheating partners and get over it, because you see like I feel like celebrities have always like kind of dictated what like the norm was, right, for like individual people, because they're trying to emulate that. So when you see like I don't know, Beyonce like take back Jay-Z after like he got caught cheating, right? It feels like it shifts that more where like that's like the standard of what I should be doing. But it also shifts it the other way too, because it makes everything more public, and then it's like if you get caught cheating, it's not just like the people in your life know that you got caught cheating. It's you and all of your Instagram followers probably know that you got caught. So
What do you think, Jacob?
Well, see, the question is, well, I really don't know what it was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago before social media. So that's why I'm going to ask you, Jody. Do you think there were more morals back then than there are now?
I think social media brings it out more.
Mm-hmm.
The bad morals or the good morals?
Both.
Both?
It's true, because you see, like, social media has been a way for people to expand their careers, expand their networks and people that they know, not only in their social lives, but their work and their lives. And I think that there's a lot of comparison in that way. So there is room for good morals, and at the same time, like he said, you know, all these celebrities, we're constantly watching what we're doing, what they're doing, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, Cardi
That's
B
true.
and Offset, you know, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. You know, that's obviously been a lot of talk, and so we're so consumed by this news all of the time, and it becomes a part of our everyday lives, and so we can't help but enforce it into our own relationships in the world.
And I guess that's like the bad part of like, because you're sharing all the goods in your relationship, like all the times you guys decide to go out for dinner and you're sharing that with all your followers, therefore you're inclined to have to share all the bad parts too, right? So if you go through like a nasty breakup, like, you have to let your followers know like, okay, like it's over, because you've been consistently following my life for the last like whatever, how many months. Now you have to see how it ended, right? So it becomes like a whole like story thing that you're like kind of like trying to sell to like your followers as well.
Right, you feel like you need to explain yourselves all of the time.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the next question. How do you think relationships, whether they're your own personal ones or in general, how do you think they would be different if social media didn't exist at all?
I think that one thing for sure is the communication definitely changes when social media or even like current technology is a thing, because you could be talking to your partner 24/7 all the time. They don't answer for an hour. It's kind of like, well, what are they doing that they can't answer me? But then it's a whole thing. If we didn't have texting or the current technology with phones or social media, you know, if someone's like currently had a post 5 seconds ago, otherwise we would just kind of like sit back and be like, oh, whenever they come home, they come home. I feel like it adds a little bit of anxiety seeing, like being able to kind of watch their lives and then being able to watch yours.
Okay.
See, I had a friend whose current girlfriend was tracking his every movement. So if she saw that he was in the same town or same area as his ex where she lived, he would be getting a FaceTime.
So you feel there is less trust
Yeah, probably.
because of
A
social
little bit of an opportunity to build more trust too.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, like it's cheaper now. Like I bet 20 years ago you needed a private eye, but now you can just do it with the touch of a button.
You are the private eye.
Yeah, really. And it's crazy because, you know, now there's apps like Snapchat. Now they added the feature of Snap Maps. You can see where it's a literal map with all of your Snapchat followers, and you can see exactly how far away they are from you, where exactly they are.
You don't even have to like okay it. It's
Right.
just kind of it is what it is.
It's there, and there's an option to mute your location, but it's not known right away. They just immediately show your location. And same thing with, you know, software on iPhones. There's Find My Friends. So how do you guys feel about couples that share their locations with each other?
Let's take a break.
Stay tuned and we'll be right back.